Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Welcome to Temple Akiba of Culver City. My name is Rabbi Zach Shapiro, and on behalf of all of us, including Kandralani Freilich, we are so glad that you're with us to harness Shabbat and take in its strength. We were welcomed into the service through the beautiful musical rendition of Yidid Nefesh by our choir director, Mary Lou Basaraba. And under Mary Lou's direction, we have many people who are our choir members who will be bringing us on a musical journey of Shabbat this evening. We have so much in store to help bring us along this spiritual path today. Not only these choir members, but also two extraordinary young people who are ascending in their own right as Jewish adults. We'll be celebrating with Evan Dario and with Jocelyn Savitt over the course of this evening and into tomorrow as well. We're going to begin with the singing, the music of Open Up Our Eyes, and Daisy Santos, one of our choir members, will be leading us.
As you lead us to your name, and we will know that you are love.
Thank you so much, Daisy. We appreciate it. We continue with our worship as we light the Shabbat candles, followed by the Kiddush. Jocelyn Savitt and her family will be lighting candles, and Evan Dario and his family will be on for Kiddush. Shabbat Shalom, Jocelyn and Evan.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kichanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Thank you so much for bringing your light to the rest of us. We now ask for the congregation, all who are able to please rise as Evan leads us in the chanting for the Friday night Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haborei hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav beratzon lahanu v'shabbat kodsha b'ahava uvratzon hinhilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom tehila lemikra'e kodesh zecher litziat mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta v'yotanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchatanu baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat.
L'chaim, that was so wonderful. Take a drink of the juice or the wine you have there. Everyone, please be seated. Thank you so much, Jocelyn and Evan. You will certainly be coming back to lead us in more prayers through our service tonight. We now are going to call upon three synagogue leaders who have some announcements as well as presentations, beginning with Charlene London, who is representing our board, followed by Melissa York, representing our sisterhood, and Herman Barnathan representing our men's group. Shabbat Shalom, Charlene.
Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi, and welcome everyone to Temple Akiba's Friday night service. So we're so glad that so many of you are here, and Mazel Tov to our Bat Mitzvah and our Bar Mitzvah, Jocelyn and Evan. So Jocelyn's service, everyone can reach it tomorrow and join in. It'll be on YouTube starting at 10:30. And Evans at 5 p.m. tomorrow evening. So there are a number of announcements I've been asked to make. And one of them is something that we had planned with our Tikkun Olam committee for the last month, and that was to provide food and other necessities for the people who are struggling in our community. And last Sunday we had a collection, and we collected 20 boxes full of all kinds of food and other kind of items for Grace Lutheran Church. The organization is called Grace's Diner. And during the last years, well, since COVID started, they have served over 70,000 meals. So a lot of people have been served. So we thank you, our Temple Akiba family, for helping and participating. I wanted to tell you that this coming Tuesday is the final coffee with the clergy, and it's on Zoom. It's at 11 in the morning, so that's Tuesday, June 15th. And next Friday, June 18th at 6:30 p.m. is our Broadway Kabbalat Shabbat. So you don't want to miss it. It'll be a lot of fun. Our prayers to the melodies of Broadway show tunes. How exciting is that? And my final announcement is about our participating in the final fundraiser for this fiscal year for Temple Akiba. It's listed under events on Temple Akiba's website, and it's called Spring into Summer. It's a Zoom social event. So we want people to go online and participate by buying wine. There'll be a wine tasting activity, by raffles. There are lots of wonderful things that have been donated, and there's a silent auction. So there's all three of those activities you can find. And so just tune in on their website. Many of you got flyers in the mail. There's a whole page in our bulletin that came out a couple weeks ago. So those are my announcements. Thank you so much for joining us today, and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Charlene, thank you. And Melissa, before we continue with you, just one amendment. And Charlene, this may have not hit your notes when you gave this, but our service for Evan tomorrow evening is at 4 o'clock and not 5 o'clock. So we wanted to make sure in case people wanted to watch on YouTube. Melissa, Shabbat Shalom to you.
Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi, and to everyone. It's my honor to be here tonight representing the Temple Akiba Sisterhood and presenting both of you, Evan and Jocelyn. I wish I could do it in person with a Kiddush cup, which you'll get tomorrow. You have both demonstrated that you've earned your place as an adult in our faith by conducting parts of tonight's service. We recognize that you've worked very hard to get to this point in your young life. And we also recognize the commitment made by your families in assisting you to achieve this goal. We are so very proud to be able to recognize this milestone accomplishment and celebration. We hope you will use this Kiddush Cup with love and pride tomorrow and at many more milestones and celebrations to come. Mazel tov.
Evan and Jocelyn, I'm Herman Barnett, and I'm the representative from the men's group here at Temple Akiba. Tomorrow, Rabbi or Cantor, I don't know which one, but each of you will receive this Tanakh, the Holy Scriptures. It's in English. It's the Bible starting with Bereshit and ending with Chronicles. Anything you need to know about Judaism, you'll find it in here. Read it, cherish it, take it with you as you grow older as a family Bible. It is the pleasure and honor of the men's group to pass this on to you. Mazel tov to both of you and your families, and Shabbat Shalom to each and every one of you.
Thank you so much to all of our leadership. We are now going to continue with welcoming the Sabbath bride, Lechadodi. Carol Sieben will be leading us.
Yes, and Rabbi, at the last verse, the Boi Chalam, we're going to ask everyone to please rise and face a door in their to their house. Is that correct?
Perfect. Thank you for reminding us, Carol.
Okay, here we go. Lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nehekabela. 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 Shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad, Ishmianu el hamyuchad, Adonai echad, u'shemo echad, L'shem ultiferet v'lihila. Lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nehekabela. Lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nehekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki makor habracha, lerosh mikedem nasucha. Sof ma'aseh b'machshava tchila. Lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nehekabela. Lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nehekabela. Hidorari, ki va'orech u'miori, uri, lava daberi, kevod Adonai alayik nigla. Lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nehekabela. Lechadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nehekabela. And all who are available and able, please rise. בואי ושלום, העטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. And you may be seated.
Thank you so much, Carol. That was just beautiful. We're going to continue now with the Chatzi Kaddish, and Jocelyn Saffett will be leading us. No, not Joanne Wolf. There we go. Sorry, Joanne. Jocelyn.
Yikadal, the Yikada, Shemay Rabba, Be'amal Divrach Yute, Biamlich Mahute, Be'haye Hon, Uvyame Hon, Uhaye Dehol Beit Israel, Bagala, Ubizman Kariv, Bimeru, Amen, Yeheshmei Rabba Levara, Le'alma Me'almaya, Yipara, Vishabah, Vipar, Vitramon, Vitnase, Vitadar, Vitale, Vitalal, Shmei Kusha, Brehu, Le'elamin, Kol Birhata, Bashirata, Tush Behata, Benemata, Damir, Rambelma, Vimeru, Amen.
Thank you so much, Jocelyn. We're going to continue now with the Baruch Hu, our formal call to worship. Just a word about a few of our prayers in the service with regard to Evan Dario, whose bar mitzvah is tomorrow. As he has an afternoon bar mitzvah, afternoon celebration services don't usually include the blessings that are considered the introductory or Shema, the blessings connected to the Shema Yisrael. So when his service happens tomorrow, it will not have a number of these blessings that we usually begin on Shabbat evening or Shabbat morning. Therefore, in addition to our more formal musical renditions of these prayers tonight, Evan will be offering the chant for them because he won't have an opportunity to tomorrow. So we're going to continue with the Baruch Hu, and we invite all who are able to please rise. Evan will begin, and then Charlene will continue.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach, Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, Le'olam Va'ed.
Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach. Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, Le'olam Va'ed. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie.
Thank you so much, Charlene. That was beautiful. And we continue our service with the singing of Ahavat Olam. This starts the Shema section at precedes the Shema, and it's a prayer about how God shows God's love for us. And I have a special guest with me tonight, my father, Cantor J. Freilich, and we are going to sing a duet version of Ahavat Olam by Craig Taubman. Ahavat Olam, Beit Torah u'mitzvot, u'kivu mishpatim, otanu limad etam, Okein Adonai Eloheinu, B'shachmeinu u'b'kumeinu, Nasiach bechukecha, V'nishmach b'divrei Toratecha, u'v'mitzvotecha, le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu v'yorech yameinu, u'vahem nehegei yomam v'layla. Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Torah u'mitzvot, u'kivu mishpatim, otanu limad etam.
Thank you so much, Cantor Jay and Cantor Lani. What a treat for all of us to hear both of you in harmony. We're going to continue with the watchword of our faith, the Shema Yisrael. We invite all who are able once again to please rise. Evan Dario will be chanting, followed by Meg Clements, who will be singing one of our folk melodies for it.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד. שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד. שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד.
Thank you so much, Meg. Please be seated, everyone. And Evan will be continuing with the V'ahavta, followed by the chanting of the Micha Mocha. And then after Micha Mocha, Julie Gray will offer a Freeman folk melody for it.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם להיות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Beautiful, Evan. That was fantastic. You're going to continue now with the chanting of the Micha Mocha.
Micha Mocha ba'elim Adonai. Micha Mocha nedar b'kodesh nora tehilot osei bele.
So beautiful, Evan. Thank you so much. And Judy is going to continue. Julie, I'm sorry, I had Judy written down. Okay.
Micha Mocha ba'elim Adonai. Micha Mocha nedar b'kodesh nora tehilot oseh bele oseh bele. Micha Mocha ba'elim Adonai. Micha Mocha nedar b'kodesh nora tehilot oseh bele oseh bele. Micha Mocha ba'elim Adonai. Micha Mocha nedar b'kodesh nora tehilot oseh bele oseh bele. Micha Mocha ba'elim Adonai. Micha Mocha nedar b'kodesh. Micha Mocha ba'elim Adonai. Micha Mocha nedar b'kodesh.
Thank you so much, Julie. We are going to continue now with our Amidah, and we ask all who are able to please rise, and we invite Jocelyn to take the stage, take the bima, and she'll be leading us in the Avot, and then Evan will offer the Gevorot and the Kedusha.
Adonai sefer tatita ufia gita hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu be'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rahel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanara, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, Bekonei Hakol, Bezoher Haskei Avot Vimahu, Ume Bigula Livnei Bneihem, Lamon Shemo Be'ahava, Mela Ozer Umashia Umakein, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Abraham, Be'ezrat Sarah.
Tagi bar le'olam Adonai, mechayei hakol atah, rav lehoshia, mechalkel hayim bechesed, mechayei hakol berachamim rabim, zomech noflim ve'ofei cholim, umatir asurim, umekayem emunato, lishenei afar, michamocha bal gevurot, Umidol melach, melech memit, umechayei, umatmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman atah lehachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, mechayei hakol. Atah kadosh v'shem hakadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom, yehalelu chasela, Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
Thank you so much, Evan. Thank you so much, Jocelyn. Your words are resonating in our hearts and souls. We invite everyone to please be seated and to now take a moment to reflect on what's going on inside of your own hearts as we take a moment for silent prayer. There we go. Mary Lou, I believe that you have an introduction to our Song of Peace.
The song is called The Gift of Love, and it was recorded at, the singers are recorded over at Grace Church. And we want to thank everybody very much for contributing to the Grace Diner, as Charlene talked about earlier. Out of the singers that you'll see in this virtual choir video, 13 of them are part of our High Holy Days choir, and many of them sing also in the Shabbat choir. So as we've seen over the years, we do have a beautiful ecumenical music program here, and it's manifest in this lovely virtual choir video that was edited by our High Holy Days ringer, Sean Taylor. Thank you, Cantor Lonnie and Rabbi, for allowing us to share this video this evening. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Carol, we can't hear the sound. I think you have to share your sound.
How absolutely beautiful. Thank you so very much, Mary Lou, and to everyone who worked on making this extraordinary gift for us at Temple Akiba. We're going to now take that gift and that strength and share it with those who could use an extra hug of peace, of love, of hope, and of healing. Daisy will be offering our Misha Berach, our blessing for healing. And if there are people that you know who could use an extra kiss, an extra hug, an extra embrace, please place those names in our chat box as we pray together.
Mekor Abraham Nehimotinu and let us say, Amen.
Thank you so much, Daisy. Thank you to all of our choir members for lifting our souls. I want to share words tonight, but I want to begin by expressing that these are thoughts that my very close friend and colleague, Rabbi Chuck Briskin, who serves in Bucks County in Pennsylvania, he and I co-wrote these words recently, and I wanted to offer him credit for helping my thought process in them. There was once a man who was asked to give what was supposed to be a brief talk at a Culver High student gathering. Basing his comments on the 6 letters that spell Culver, he began by saying that the letter C stands for children, the fine young people, who come to the school with such promise. The U, he continued, stands for unity, the bond that young people have. After lengthy remarks with each letter on the L, the V, and the E, he finally came to the R, pointing out that it stands for responsibility, the devotion of Culver students to their home school. An hour and a half later, the speaker sat down. During the pause that followed, a bored student whispered to his friend, "I'm sure glad we don't go to the Los Angeles County High School for the Arts. We would have been here forever had they spelled out each letter of that school." Why do I share this story? Friends, our lives are filled with opportunities to communicate effectively. But we've noticed over the past year, especially, that people are putting emphasis on their opinions and less care into how they say it. As Paul Simon wrote, people are talking without speaking in the sounds of silence. We email without boundaries, we post without depth. We share opinions without filters. We talk on and on and on, but are we saying anything? In the 18th century, the Hasidic master, the Baal Shem Tov, taught that every person is allotted a certain amount of words to use for his or her entire lifetime. Once we have used up this quota, we must depart from this world. By guarding our tongue and using our words wisely, we can assure greater longevity. Now imagine that. Imagine having to stop and truly think before uttering a sound. Imagine putting great care into every word that we utter, lest we waste our allotment of that quota of words. Imagine if the next word we share is the last word we will ever say. What will that word be? A kindly word has the power to uplift and transform. Conversely, a poorly chosen word can devastate and belittle. Are we wasting our quota of words? One of my mentors growing up was a great orator. He was a master storyteller, and his cadence wove into his expressions with depth and meaning. It wasn't until years later that I learned that my mentor had a speech impediment. I was beside myself. I recently asked him about it, and he said, "Zach, I learned a long time ago to be very deliberate in what I say. I slow myself down, I take a step back, and I use very few words." The first great communicator of our people was a man of few words. According to the Midrash, Moses, when he was a child, scalded his mouth with a hot coal, affecting his ability to speak. Later, when God called to him from the burning bush, Moses responded, "God, I'm not good with words. I never have been." I'm slow of speech and tongue. How incredible is it that the man God chose to inspire the people was a person with a speech impediment? It's a lesson that there's holiness and potential in every creation on earth. Further, it's an instruction that communication is about how we lead more than what we say. When we look back upon the life of Moses, we don't think so much of his sermons. I mean, they were long and they were pretty boring. But we do remember that he led the children of Israel out of slavery. Now we juxtapose Moses to Korach, who in this week's portion raises his voice in rebellion, publicly attempting to humiliate Moses, saying, "Why do you lift yourself above the rest of us?" Mind you, perhaps Korach was justified in his opinion, but he was not appropriate in his manner of speech. That's just not how we speak to one another, especially in a public setting. The Baal Shem Tov, who taught us about the quota of words, also teaches us that each Hebrew letter resembles a person. Both letters and people are filled with unique sparks of God's divine light. When letters come together, they create potential for profound thoughts. And when people come together for a good purpose, like a Moses and an Aaron, or like members of our choir who are here tonight, or like Jocelyn and like Evan, two young people who are ascending to light, we all then become ambassadors of infinite wisdom. It's all about recognizing and listening to the holiness of each soul. Yes, the power of speech is an incredible gift. God spoke with just two small words at the beginning of creation, Yehi Or, let there be light. God was then silent for a while, and the world unfolded. Yehi Or, just two words. Friends, think about how many words we use, and think about how many words we waste. Sometimes just the simplest communication can open the door to the universe. Jewish ethicist Alan Marinas reminds us, unless the words you are about to speak are absolutely necessary, remain silent. I think about this more than ever in the very heated and polarized climate our world has been enduring. We've heard speeches, we've heard debates, we hear so many people who are raising their voices. Are we making a mockery out of our speech? Or are we putting our words to good use and to wisdom? Friends, we have to remember that above all, civil discourse is what makes our nation so great. I'm going to conclude with this. It once happened that a rabbi and a cantor and a synagogue president were on a cruise together. Lo and behold, pirates commandeered the ship. Next thing they knew, the rabbi, the cantor, and the president found themselves about to walk the plank. The pirate captain asked each of them, "Do you have any final words?" The rabbi said, "I've been preparing an incredible sermon for months. It's 3 hours of scholarly discourse. Please let me give it now." The cantor then said, "I have been practicing this incredible piece of liturgical music all year long, and it's now perfection. I've even added new verses that no one has ever heard. It's a 2-hour spectacular sensation. You must allow me to sing it." The president of the congregation then pleaded, "I've heard enough words from them. Take me first." Friends, our words are powerful. Use them wisely. Use them wisely. King Yehiratso, may this be God's will. Amen.
Thank you so much, Rabbi. We continue our service with the beginning of our concluding prayers, the Aleinu. We ask for all who are able to please rise. Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula leotzer breshit, shelo asanu kugei ha'aratzot, velo samanu kemishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, vegor aleinu kecho hamonam. V'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. V'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu Yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad.
Please be seated, everyone. As we prepare for Kadisha Tom, the mourner's Kaddish, I offer the following reading. When I die, give what's left of me away to children and old men that wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for your brother walking the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give them what you need to give me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds. Look for me in the people I've known or loved. And if you cannot give me away, at least let me live in your eyes and not in your mind. You can love me best by letting hands touch hands and by letting go of children that need to be free. Love doesn't die, people do. So when all that's left of me is love, give me away. We remember friends and family of our community who have died, who continue to shine upon us from their eternal resting spaces. We begin with those for whom we are in Shloshim, the first 30 days of mourning, including Carol Silverman. Is there anyone else who has recently lost a loved one in these past 30 days? And if you have, please place that person's name or names in our chat box. We also remember the yard sites, the anniversaries of the deaths that occur on this Shabbat. We begin with those who have plaques in our Sue and Jerry Erfrig Memorial Room. Solomon Berlin, Darlene Bilkis, Rose Buzzy Cholden, Jacob Hers, Pearl Holtz, Sam Meyer, Ben Rapport. And as I offer additional names, if there are people that you know who you don't believe may be on our Kaddish list, please add those names in our chat box. Philip Altfest, Fred Bender, Martin Clark, Mina Kleiman, Ethel Fischel, Clarice Gelb, Dorothy Greenberg, Irene Harris, Robert Hinden, Edna Josephson, Ida Capel, Fanny Levin, Molly Levine, Guillermo Milfgram, Julius Moster, Beatrice Raymer, Adolfo Rosenberg, William Rosenthal, Lance Saperstein, Samuel Savatsky, Hyman Sims, Ruth Turley, Albert Weinstein, Michael Williamson. May their names guide us all toward goodness. We ask for all who are able to please rise for Kaddish Yatom. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah. V'yalmad divrach rotei v'yamlich malchutei. V'chayechon v'yomechon. V'chayeh d'chol Beit Yisrael. Bagalau v'yisman kariv imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach leolam u'amei olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach. V'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal. Shemei d'kudusha barichu. Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechamata. Damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama Rabbah min shemaya. V'chayim. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. May the one who causes peace to be known in the high heavens help us understand that by reaching out to one another, we create peace on earth as well. For all Israel and for all humanity, we say, Amen. Please be seated, everyone. With incredible gratitude to Carol Diamond, who has been our Zoom master, we are in awe of you. To Jocelyn and to Evan, continue to soar toward heights. To Mary Lou and our entire choir, thank you for lending your voices and your souls. And of course, to cantors Lonnie and Jay, you make us all better people through your voices. And in fact, I think we're going to go to the two of you as we close our service with.
We are closing our service with Oseh Shalom. This is a fun version with a lot of hand clapping, so we invite you to clap along at home while we sing this. Shalom, shalom, b'roma, yaseh, yaseh, shalom. Oh, say shalom, shalom, b'roma, yaseh, yaseh, shalom. Oh, yaseh, shalom, shalom aleinu.
I love that melody. Thank you so much for closing with that joy. And oh, Cantor, you got a challah there.
I do. So it is our custom for everyone to put out your hand and pretend like you're touching the challah, or if you have some bread or challah at home, raise that in the air, and let's join together in our hamotzi. Hamotzi lachem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices join in happy chorus as our prayer is humbly said. Baruch atah Adonai
Eloheinu
Eloheinu
melech
haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'tei avon.